Good morning, bedheads. I hope you're doing well today. Look who's joined us. We're having a cup of Joe today. Click. Thank you for the community member who sent this to me. I really appreciate it. So cute. So, cup of Joe, I've got my childless cat lady shirt on today. We are going full blown, not my president day. So, and you guys aren't going to believe this. I'm just going to tell you right up front. You know, I'm doing the pendulum lately. I've been doing the pendulum using this so we can get like direct messages. So, using the pendulum instead of just the dowsing rods. You want to know what they said today? I'm not kidding you. I cannot make this up. I really can't. Okay. So I am actually going to premiere this video because I want to try doing that and we can be in the chat and talk about this. Okay. So I think that's what premiere means. I'm going to try it out today. But anyways, this is what they said. I am not kidding you. President Kamala Harris. They spelled that out to me. So what do you think that means? I mean, is that just, I don't know. That's where our energy is. So maybe that's a good thing. And then this morning, I thought this was really funny. So I had this cup out and my husband says, I miss that guy. I thought I got to write that down because that's really funny. I miss that guy. So click. All right. So not my president, the Cheeto, not my president. But here it is. Here's the thing is you guys as a community have envisioned what an amazing presidency would look like. Okay. Even for any president. So we have the opportunity right now, my understanding in reading The Golden Future. Okay. And listening to this one podcast that I just listened to the last couple of days. I listened to it twice with Adamis. I don't know if you've ever heard of Adamis. There is a gentleman that I usually only see him on Michael Sandler Inspire Nation. Okay. I will list it below. I usually see it on there. I will actually link this episode that I'm talking about. Okay. So right now, what Adamis has said, so Adamis is the spirit that channels through the person that Michael was talking to. Okay. And I really do enjoy listening to Adamis. What's really funny is he said at the end, if you listen to the whole thing, Adamis said, well, you guys and your spirit guides and all this. And I'm like, okay, I'm still going to believe in spirit guides. He was trying to say at the end, or he was saying that it's ourselves, our higher selves are our spirit guides type of thing, So, and he's like, everyone talks about spirit guides and I was just laughing. I'm like, hey, yeah, that's my whole channel is called Spirit Guides. It makes me want to ask my guides now. So you guys, is Adamis correct that it's just our higher selves that's guiding us? No. All right, Adamis, what the heck? So anyways, it's really worth listening to, okay? Because apparently, so I'm going to talk probably throughout this week because I'm so intrigued about where we're going. And he also said, just like the Golden Future, you guys, that we're reading in the Spirit Circle, he also said that it's like 7 years away is when we start. So there is some real messaging that is very consistent. And I don't think this person I don't know. Has this person who channels Adamis ever read Diana Cooper? I don't know. So there's some real consistency in the messaging, and I like that. I like to hear the consistency. So, before we get too much further, I really need you to tell me why that was the message today. President Kamala Harris. Isn't that amazing? I don't have my bullet journal with me, but what was yesterday? Okay, so yesterday was you, pie in sky. It was pie sky, okay? Pie in the sky, I looked it up, has to do with something you don't believe, but it's something that someone would say, oh, that's pie in the sky, meaning you wish it, but it can't come true, okay? Or that it wouldn't come true. It's pie in the sky, okay? However, my SGs yesterday with the pendulum said, see you, pie sky. So see you there, okay? Then today, I said, oh, what message would you like to give? And I think they probably knew I was going to talk about President's Day. President Kamala Harris. Anywho, just saying. So back to Adamis, okay? He basically said that if you're tired right now, and this is going to circle back to us envisioning what we want. If you're tired right now, what's happening is a lot of the light workers, all of the light workers, okay? The empaths, the light workers, the mediums, the psychics, the spiritual folks who are on a spiritual, bringing all the spirituality to earth right now, the light, okay? I don't know where religion falls into that, but I'm just going to, whoever feels like they're a light worker, whoever's kind of find their way into these communities is most likely a light worker. In fact, I can ask them. And we are going to do, I'm taking questions right now about light workers because I think that would be a really great session to do with the SGs. So is everybody who finds themselves in this community and kind of hanging out, feeling comfortable here, I would say, are we all light workers finding each other? Yes. And I know I asked that yesterday, but I wanted to confirm that. Okay. So basically what's happening, if you're finding yourself really tired, if you're finding yourself like you're waking up and you're like, what is happening? Like, or you're not like having, I don't know, your life just feels a little off right now. He said it's because we're working all night, is basically what he said. And we are in the process of envisioning the new earth. And so we leave our bodies at night and we're working, okay? And it's not about thinking, it's about imagination. And so he really wants us to stop thinking. That was kind of his in the episode. I highly recommend you watch this episode. And then we'll continue talking about it because you kind of have to process the things that he was saying. So because we're working at night, envisioning the golden future, and he even said that, I'm trying to figure out a place, like, I have so many notes. I watched it twice and took a lot of notes. He basically said that light workers, so he defined it as those with higher consciousness, have not yet birthed the new system for the future. So we that's what we're doing. We're working on that. And he said it's not pre-planned because this is something that's never been done before. Okay. And which is kind of interesting because at the same time, he did say that he called in one of his sessions that he does with the person he works with. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. I know his name, but the human that he channels through, that he called in an entity from 2044, which again is not that far from here, 2044, to talk about what the future looked like. And so the question is like, how did he do that if it wasn't envisioned yet? So I have to listen to that again. But I thought we should do that. We should call in entities from different time periods. Wouldn't that be interesting? And ask questions. We could call in entities from like the 1800s and ask questions. We could call in an entity from someone who had experiences in World War II. That would be interesting. So I'll write that down. Yeah, so anyways, we're basically doing that work at night. He said, don't worry, we're not going back to a dictatorship, although it's going to appear that way at first. Okay. He really did say democracy is coming to an end, but that's because of the golden future. Don't worry about it. Like he said, it's just, we're not even going to need democracy because everybody is going to be on an equal playing field, because everybody's going to realize that they have all the energy is available to them. Everything they need on earth is available to everybody. Okay. So that's kind of interesting. He did say that a shift. And so now, it's kind of interesting because we're like, Cheeto is not our president, right? F-45. And isn't Cheeto kind of funnier? I know, I feel like a fifth grader calling him Cheeto, but sometimes if you don't laugh, you know what happens. But he basically said there's a shift from the old power control. Okay. And that is what's rising right now, is all the power and control that people think they, like there's a bunch of humans that want a dictator. They want to be told what to do. And maybe they wouldn't say, like their ego wouldn't say it, but like their subconscious is like, yeah, just tell me what to do. And that's how they act. They don't want to take responsibility for themselves. They don't want to take responsibility for taking care of themselves. And so that's kind of how they're acting. And so that's coming up to be dissolved. He said it's not coming up to be processed. It's coming up to be dissolved, which is amazing, because the reason it's amazing is because the word dissolved is something that I continually hear from the Z's said it from different psychics, those who are channeling especially. The Z said it through Lee Harris energy, Lee Harris. And so again, I will always list, anytime I mention somebody, I'll list it below. Okay. So he uses the word dissolve a lot too, in terms of like the conscious anger that's coming up this month, and the what the F energy that's rising this month is all coming up to be dissolved. Okay. So that brings me, because I could talk forever about Adamis, but I do want to focus on what you guys had said, like what's the pie in the sky, basically. What do we want to see? And that's part of the envisioning of what Adamis is saying. But I think what we're saying here is going to be, it's real. What I'm going to share with you, what you shared on the channel about how you would have had envisioned a really good presidency for the first month. Okay. Which is completely opposite of what Cheeto introduced us to. Was not a very good presidency for the first month, was it? So we are going to envision, we want to sit in, what does a first month really look like? Then we could take that vision and carry it forward. Now, just know that as we explore the new earth, the golden future together, that I think even how we are describing it here, which I'm going to share with you, is going to be totally different. I think we are quite limited, even though the things you guys said about what you envision, what a great presidency would look like. I think the golden future is even going to be way better than that. So we'll just start with where we're at, right? So, okay, so the pie in the sky. And again, the SGs told us, see you in the pie in the sky. I don't know. They're sending us some pretty clear messages. All right. So this is what you guys said. Our amazing leader's first month. All right. Our amazing leader, it's first month. Did I show you my shirt? Okay. Our amazing leader's first month. And we are going to finish strong, you guys. Is collaborative, relationship building, inclusive, positive, calming, bipartisan, joyful, respectful, reassuring, honest. Communication with the people is clear, straightforward, and strong. I mean, doesn't that feel so good? This is how we're celebrating President's Day. This is it. Okay. Instead of, focusing on actually what is, we're going to focus on what we want. Okay. What our vision is. So, our amazing alternate universe president, all right, spent their first month in the Oval Office working on, these are some of the things you guys said, all right, working on creating a bipartisan team that works together for the common good and willing to work together to fix things and actually does fix things, actually does, all right. Making cabinet choices with impeccable and honorable, patriotic people. Not because they've been bought off, right? Okay, I shouldn't even say that. Cut, clear, cancel, because we're staying in the vision. All right. So just deep breath into this. I think this is such a great place to be. And this is where we want to be focusing on the future, right? I know we're trying to keep an eye on the 3D. But this is us centering today, all right? Because who knows what this week is going to bring. So now we can bring a little bit of center to ourselves and say, this is our vision. This is our vision for a great presidency of the United States. Giving economic relief for the majority of Americans. Absolutely. Because we don't need to go into debt to do that if they did the right thing by taxing those with a lot of money their fair share, just their fair share. That's all we're asking. So this is very possible to do this. So I don't want anybody in the comments saying, "Oh, but we'd go broke." No, we would not. We would not. So giving economic relief for the majority of Americans, working with law enforcement agencies to ensure school safety. Yeah, how about just making kids feel completely safe in school 100%, never even have to practice any of those things, Writing enforceable, sensible gun law legislation, absolutely. Boosting foreign trade to maximize profit for the USA. That'd be amazing. That's awesome. Reinstating federal Roe versus Wade legislation with the added step of ratifying the amendment to be a part of the U.S. Constitution. Okay, we've got awesome vision here. Let's keep our focus on this, all right? And obviously, somebody knows something we don't know, because they didn't call her they called her President Kamala Harris. Supporting DEI initiatives. Ensuring equal rights for all, strive for peace, show understanding and peace among all peoples of the world. And this is what I can see people in the comments right now, but this or but no, we're not doing any buts today. No buts. No buts today, no shoulds today, okay? We're not shoulding ourselves. We're not butting ourselves either. No buttings. Only because that takes us away from the vision. All right. Bring back the FAIR doctrine and include Fox 2. Stop all support of violence on Gaza and send help to Gazans. Start the liberation of Ukraine, and then somebody put for real, actually do it. Start work on universal health care. Doesn't that feel so good? Doesn't that feel so good, like most of the world has, actually? Most of the first world countries, I would say. Start work on, universal health care. Show love for Mother Earth and the sharing of all resources around the world. Beautiful. Bring together the leaders of all nations and have us work as one. I love it. You can actually see that, right? If you notice, there's some news conferences going on. The Arab nations have all come together to support Gaza. So you can see how some of these things are happening. So that's amazing. You just didn't expect us not to be a part of it, right? Cut, clear, cancel. Sorry. I did a but and a should. Okay. Increasing jobs. Removing money from politics, absolutely 100%. Bribery is no longer legal, and either is lying. Politicians who lie, it would be illegal. I'm going to add that. Number 19, we've got 24, so we're almost done. Number 19, dismantle big pharma with medication going straight from their publicly funded government and university programs to the people. Beautiful. 20, medical care is now free to anyone in the U.S. regardless of citizenship. Regardless of citizenship, because we're just healing people. We're just helping people take care of them, right? We can do that. We can all take care of each other. All medical and student loan debt for every citizen is forgiven. Because it's forgiven, because all higher education would be free anyways. There's no reason why higher education, we're educating. We want everybody to be educated. We want to actually encourage really good education so people can live a life of joy, live a life with a mind more expanded, do things that they want to do. And the more they know, the more opportunities everybody will have. How beautiful is that? Free childcare and meals to all children, regardless of legal status. And basic housing to anyone who needs it. Under no circumstances would anybody be homeless. I mean, that makes me feel so good, right? And lastly, my sister put egg prices are now $1.99. Everybody's so focused on the egg prices. I know. I just spent $10 for a dozen eggs because I only do, if I eat eggs, they're going to be pasture raised. I can't buy eggs from, once I saw how they treat chickens, I can't do it. I'd rather not eat eggs. So anyways, so how cool is that? Giving us kind of this positive vision for where we want to go, what we actually want to see. And you know what? We didn't have these things. We're having with Joe. Hi, Joe. But this was very hard for him to do. A lot of these things was very hard for him to do because until we create a system of collaboration, of bipartisanship, of not taking bribes from corporations, until we actually elect leaders of the people and for the people, not for the corporations, we won't be able to do these things. And so maybe that's why all this stuff is being broken right now, so that we actually can do these things. What if that's the case? What if we've had to go through this torture of the last month, maybe like really since November? What if we've had to go through this torture so that stuff would break down, so that when President Kamala Harris shows up, she will have a broken system to actually build it back better. Build back better. Whose was that? Build back better. Was that Biden? Was that Obama? I can't remember. Build back better. Hang on, I'll look it up. Well, I'll be. It was Joe. It was Joe. Build back better. And that's kind of interesting, to be honest. Like, maybe that Build Back Better plan was put into motion, but then couldn't build back better. And because it was put into motion, the universe is like, well, you can't really build back better, which is what you guys all just described, all those amazing things. You can't really do that with our current structure. And so it needs to be broken down. It's kind of interesting. Maybe the Build Back Better plan put this whole thing into motion to actually, because sometimes, have you ever noticed in your life that when you want something, it's always that be careful what you wish for, because actually to get there, you got to go through some shit. You know what I mean? So that kind of is interesting, the Build Back Better plan. And it was very hard to build back better with all the obstacles in the way. A lot of obstacles in the way. So the things that you guys just listed as a community will allow, because Cheeto is breaking everything down, it maybe needed to happen that way. So when President Kamala, let's go Kamala, let's finish strong. I'm thinking, I'm kind of feeling that. Let's do a quick ask and then we'll do a card and be done for today. So you guys can go out and protest. Not protest, but stand in not my President's Day. Okay. You guys, did the Build Back Better plan have anything to do with did that plan manifest this deconstruction we're going through right now? Oh, wow. Yes. Okay. So the Build Back Better plan actually manifested this so that the things that our community just envisioned for a great presidency, did you guys see those? Of course I did. Are those things going to happen in the United States? Yes. Cool. Are they going to happen because Cheeto has basically broken through all the systems to show? Yes. Okay. And so because things are now broken, when President Kamala Harris begins building back, she can actually build it back better. Is that true? Wow. Okay. All right. Big picture here, folks. Big picture. I love it. I love it. Okay. This was the Oracle deck they asked me to use today. So let's just do a card for the day and you guys can walk away with some good energy. I always list anything I use down below. So if you're interested in, any kind of particular deck, we do have we put all our, everything I use, we put in a shop now on Amazon, but right now, because it's our only option, but, so we're working on, looking at different options for that kind of stuff, but yep. I am just designing a childless cat lady mug. I'll do a dog lady mug too. Childless dog lady mug for our shop. Okay, so you guys, can you please tap into anyone who's watching this now and in the future and give us a message? What do you want us to know, particularly for our vision? Let's go with our vision for the future. That one felt like it wanted to pop, but it didn't really. So the vision that this community came up with regarding how we would like the United States to be. Oh, thank you. That one really popped. Okay. Let me see which one they want to use here. Okay. So, and they're both facing down, so I don't see either one. Are both of these messages what you want to share today? No. The one on the left. Okay, that was the first one. Okay, the one on the right, that was my popper. Okay, the jumper. Okay. All right, let's see what it says. Oh, interesting. Okay, it's an 8 card. 5 plus 3 is 8. I'm going to pull out my numerology here real quick. What do you see? Make you feel any certain way? Okay, think about what we just talked about in terms of envisioning. Okay, what we do want. We want to keep focusing on what we do want, not what we don't want. Okay. Magician and the mirror. Magician and the mirror. So let's read that and then I'll look up 8. Some of you probably already know what the 8 is, but I got to look it up. I know 1 and 9 so far. Those are the ones that I have memorized because 9 comes up a lot on this channel. So does 3. 53. Okay. So knowing and using your true power. Knowing and using your true power. This card upright, which it was, represents the culmination of your personal and spiritual power at this time. In the magician's left hand, so the blue, in the magician's left hand, let me make sure I got this, is the flame of passion and action. In his right hand is a vortex of water and the light of reflection. This highly beneficial card is telling you that you are the magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin, the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing direction and creativity. Together, they give you the magnificent magic of transformation. I mean, again, have we not been talking about this? Oh, I just love this so much. Okay. The mirror stands beside the magician, reflecting the outer world's response to your choice to use or dismiss the true power that you have. Its silver reflection reveals the future in a mist on the horizon, ready to be magically formed. When you receive the magician upright, you are put on notice. We are put on notice right now that an important and powerful time is at hand. Oh, really? I mean, this is very, very significant, you guys. Everything now that I'm watching and reading about our spiritual journey going forward, very significant time. You are the alchemist of your life, and just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. This is true in every area of your life. Claim your power and embrace your intentions in your heart and in your daily life. Direct your destiny, and the myths of the future will clear into bright, brilliant reality. Really cool. Considering we just created as a community that whole vision for what we want to see for each other in the United States and the kind of leader we want to have. So very cool. All right, let's look real quick at what numerology number 8 is. For those of you who need a little extra, I just want to see the one word that it stands for. 8, manifestation. Manifestation. So we're the magicians. It's all, we have the power to make changes. And that is really focusing on what we want, not what we don't want. Anytime you focus on what you don't want, just do a quick cut, clear, cancel. I can catch myself like that now, you know? So, all right. This was fun. Hope you have an amazing President's Day celebrating Kamala Harris. All right. And just celebrating our new vision for what we want for the United States, because there is a real possibility now, because of what Cheeto has done, that we now should thank him, believe it or not, for breaking it down. And we will thank him once we get some cover, once we actually see this come into reality. Okay. So once that happens, I think we'll really be able to thank him, but let's just thank him now for tearing down the system so that we can build it back better. Which again, I mean, you know, again, are you seeing all the pieces come together? Are you seeing them all come together now? I definitely am. So, all right, we will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.